Antonio Conte is the favourite to take over at Manchester United following Ole Gunnar Solsjkear's poor run of form, and the Italian has the knack for improving sides, turning them into title contenders. Today's video is all about analysing Conte's tactics and how he can improve Manchester United. Also, in Football Manager, we do have the tactic that we replicated to see how well they can do in Football Manager. So, if you are enjoying my type of content, make sure you are subscribed, make sure you hit that like button, that is very important. Also, you can leave a comment if you have any tactical recommendations. This video is also sponsored by the OneFootball app. OneFootball and the RDF Tactics channel have chosen to collab once again. Downloading this app would help this channel out in many ways, but why exactly should you download it? The OneFootball app is an excellent app for football fans. It's the best place to check recent news, legally watch matches, yes, for free, and you can follow your team and be notified when something major happens. It's also great to check out the latest transfer rumours, and if you're like me, you don't want to miss out on any rumours. Transfer season can be fun. Once all the league starts up as well, it's a great app to check statistics. This channel creates recreations. Using the OneFootball app helps grab vital stats, but also you will have access to team lineups before the football match starts. This is a great app if you want to follow football around the world or get the latest news just on your team. So make sure you try it out, but it does also help this channel out a lot and gives it many great opportunities to grow. So give it a go and I promise you won't regret it. Antonio Conte has used the back three system throughout his whole career, and the use of wingbacks has practically come synonymous with his name. It's therefore no surprise that we predict, if appointed as Manchester United's boss, that Conte will continue with his three at the back system. Though he has played a 3-4-3, throughout his time at Inter, he has deployed the 3-5-2 system. The 3-5-2 could possibly work at Manchester United, though questions would be asked who would play as wingbacks. Luke Shaw and Alex Telles for sure would battle it out for the left wing-back spot, but on the right, Aaron Wan-Bissaka may lack the attacking qualities of a typical Conte wing-back. Jadon Sancho could offer Conte that quality going forward, and Conte using a winger as a wing-back isn't unusual, as we saw Ivan Perisic play as a wing-back last season at Inter. It would be a huge change in role for Jadon Sancho, but certainly intriguing if the 3-5-2 is used, as there are no wingers. Where Pogba would be best suited is also another big question. He's someone that likes to dictate play, and Marcelo Brozovic had that responsibility at Inter, playing as the lone pivot. This could see Fred alongside Bruno Fernandes further ahead in midfield, where himself claims to prefer, but Pogba may lack the defensive awareness to be that lone pivot. As customary of an Antonio Conte team, Inter Milan played with high-flying wingbacks who played a crucial part to all aspects of their game. The wingbacks are key to the build-up, key to helping the team surge up the field at speed, vital to the counter-attack, and paramount to the team's ability to find the back of the net. During longer spells when Inter attempted to break down the opponent's defence, the team formed what mostly closely resembled as a 3-3-4 attacking shape. This involved both wingbacks attacking high up the pitch rather than one at a time, and the frequency to which one wingback crossing the ball to another becomes a regularity. The entire team condensed the field vertically but stretched horizontally. The wingbacks remain high and wide and create variety to the attack and play by linking up with the central midfielders and strikers nearby and then advancing into the box for through balls or crosses coming down from the other side. Conte's sides are fantastic at creating wide overloads, and Barella's wide role on the right hand side gave Hakimi even greater freedom to work his magic in all kinds of different attacking areas. Bruno Fernandes and Jadon Sancho could have a similar link up if Sancho were to play as the right wing back. The wingbacks and the central midfielders are also crucial to the defensive transitions, condensing the field after losing the ball. The fitness levels of players like Hakimi is quite remarkable, and this helps the team win the ball back in those wider areas when they lose possession. The defensive organisation of the team to always remain compact and in close proximity between the lines of the midfield three, and the back three in particular, also aids in these quick defensive transitions. Conte will play a possession-based game, focusing on attentional build-up, width and intricate positional movements to open up space. Inter completed the fewest long passes per game in the league last season, and when looking at their plays and style of play, it's evident to see why. Instead of direct football thrusting the ball forward and long, the strikers will drop deep one at a time, coming closer to the ball and engaging in the build-up. They receive the ball and then either advance vertically by running with it or quickly play it off to a teammate before spinning in behind the defence. This exact method may be used in counter-attacks, as one striker comes deep to play a quick 1-2 and the other remains high and wide to get on the end of a cross or a through ball. In the initial build-up phases, the back three will often circulate the ball right to left, looking for opportunities to play in the two sitting defensive midfielders. Pogba could have a particularly important role to play in the build-up, dictating switches of play and spreading the ball wide to the wing-backs or vertically to a dropping striker. An essential reason for Antonio Conte's success is his phenomenal counter-attacks. Last season, Inter were deadly at converting their chances and making the most out of their attacking play. According to Who Scored's metrics, they also scored the most counter-attacking goals in Serie A last season, with their speed and agility from the likes of Hakimi and Lukaku always working in tandem to get in behind the opposition's defence. Simultaneously, they remain a very elegant attacking side. The Black and Blues weren't ones to dribble through the opposition and take on players 1v1. They may burst up the field and run with the ball at speed when they have the space to do so, but the counter-attacks were a collective approach. In fact, all of their attacks were a collective approach. Manchester United's ability to attack at speed with loads of width and loads of firepower could allow them to be one of the deadliest sides in the league under Conte. Lautaro Martinez and Romelu Lukaku were also known to swap positions and make varying runs in the final third. Both were not only capable goal scorers, but also capable chance creators, and this is similar to what Ronaldo and his strike partner at Manchester United are capable and would need to do in this 3-5-2 system. But unfortunately, that wraps up this mini Conte at Manchester United tactical analysis. Huge credit goes out to the mastermind, and in my honest opinion, if Conte goes to Manchester United, that would be a very good signing for the Reds, and also we could see Manchester United challenge for the title next season if United give Conte the money to improve. But for now, we're going to go into Football Manager to have a look at the replicated tactic, but also to see how well or how bad Manchester United did in Football Manager using Conte's 3-5-2 system. So now, let's head over to Football Manager. So here we are in Football Manager, and as you can see, we have lined up with a 3-5-2. We're going to go through the team instructions, the player roles and their instructions as well before looking at the results. So to start off with the mentality, we are using that balanced mentality. It's a very patient mentality, but that's exactly what we want whilst we're in and out of possession. The attacking width is set to wide, so we are going to be using those wider areas, especially those wing backs. This is going to be crucial in creating those wider overloads, but also focus the play down the left and down the right, as that would naturally cause our central midfielders to move over out to those flanks and create those wide overloads. We also have play out from the defence with the shorter passing directness and a higher tempo, getting the ball forward in a more urgent fashion. In transition, when the possession has been lost, we don't have an instruction set, so we're neither going to counter press or regroup, but when the possession has been won, then we are going to be looking to go on the counter attack. When the goalkeeper's in possession, he will look to distribute it to the centre backs and take short kicks as well. Out of possession, we do have a higher line of engagement with a higher defence line. If you want to focus more on that counter-attacking style, then I would suggest to drop the line of engagement down to standard, but I noticed that when playing against the bigger sides, you will get dominated. So I just left it on higher as default. If you want to be more counter-attacking, then you can drop this line of engagement. We do have the standard defensive width, and the pressing trigger is set to more often with prevent short goalkeeper distribution. So that there is the team instructions. In goal, we do have a super keeper on that defensive duty. Our two wider centre backs are that wide centre back, a new role in Football Manager, and we will be using them. So we do have two wide centre backs, and between them we have that central defender on a stopping duty. Now, Naturally, I would go for that cover duty, but for some unknown reason on Football Manager, the stopping duty just works way better than the cover duty. I noticed that the cover duty just invites a lot of pressure and the strikers could go unmarked getting inside the box for some odd reason. I'm not sure why. So I went with the stopping duty, as that just made the defense a lot better on Football Manager. Now for the two positions that are very key in this Conte system, we do have two wingbacks on the attacking duty. The single pivot is a deep line playmaker on the defensive duty, and the two in central midfield, we do have a box-to-box midfielder who's going to be closing down more, marking tighter, and he's partnered with a Mazzala who also going to be closing down more and marking tighter. Lastly, up top, we do have a pressing forward on the attacking duty, and a role that I feel Cristiano Ronaldo could perform in and perform very well is the deep line forward on that support duty. And this here is the 11 that I personally could see Conte using at Manchester United. You could swap Pogba for Fred, and you do have a few options in central defence, like you could go for Eric Bailly as the wide centre back instead of Lindelof, or you can go for Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a wide centre back. And even to get Alex Telles in this side, you could have Luke Shaw as the wide centre back, Maguire in the middle, and Rafael Varane as the wide centre back on the right. But that there is the tactic. We are now going to check the results and see how well Manchester United did do using this Conte formation. So looking at the league table, the English Premier Division, Manchester United played 38 with a goal difference of plus 59, a points tally of 94, meaning they were the Premier League champions. We also won the FA Cup. We were the winners. So if we check, we beat Leeds on penalties. That finished 0-0 in full time. And in the Champions League, Manchester United have won the Champions League, beating Liverpool 3-1 in the final. I mean, Liverpool looked like they were the better side on the day. They had 17 shots, 8 on target, XG of 1.39 and 50% of the ball. But what mostly matters is the scoreline. Mason Greenwood scored in the 9th minute. Fabinho equalised in the 26th minute. The beast Cristiano Ronaldo took back the lead in the 73rd minute before Edison Cavani wrapping up the game in the 81st minute. So Manchester United actually won the treble in their first season using this tactic. I mean, that's absolutely crazy, with no transfers as well, but you don't need any transfers with Cristiano Ronaldo up top. And looking at the top goal scorer as well, we can see Cristiano Ronaldo finish the top goal scorer in the English Premier League with 35 goals. Absolutely crazy. He was an absolute monster in the save, as we will see in a moment. And for the assists as well, we can see here that Luke Shaw had 14 assists, Alex Telles had 9. So we can see how key the wingbacks were. Bruno Fernandes got 13 assists as well, playing as that Mazzala on the right hand side, who also can cross more in that right half channel, which is a very, very dangerous instruction. But we can look at some data. So if we check the general performance, we basically outperformed the average in every little section here. So for the tackles won ratio, goals per game, expected goals for, conceded per game, pass completion ratio, shots on target, we were better than the league's average. The team's attacking performance, very similar as well, overperforming the average in the league, and again similar to the defending, apart from clearances per game and blocks per game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. If we aren't making too many clearances or blocks per game, maybe we just aren't defending that much in games as well. For shooting, I would have liked this to be a little bit more clinical, but we do have some players like Pogba, Bruno and Ronaldo who all like to shoot from distance. But as you can see here, we were aggressive in our shooting, but on the low quality shooting side as well. For the movement, you can see that we had fewer dribbles, but we were reliable in possession. And for the shot map, you can see that we didn't necessarily take too many long shots. We have a few from outside the box where Jadon Sancho, Anthony Martial, Greenwood, Paul Pogba here, but majority of our shots, well, I would say roughly 90% of our shots were inside the box. Our defensive actions, you can see here that we're not necessarily a high pressing team. A lot of our defensive actions were around our penalty box. And when we look at the possession gains, where we gain the possession, it's more in that defensive to mid third. So again, we aren't really pressing high. We just have a nice defensive structure, remain compact, allowing us to spring our counter attacks. And lastly, for the pass map, as you can see, there were lots of passing combinations down that right hand side in the Champions League final. Now this is very similar to what we saw at Inter with Conte, with Hakimi on the right hand side, Barella and Lukaku. A lot of the action, a lot of Inter's actions happened happen down that right hand side. So this is fairly pleasing to see as well. It does look as if Greenwood was isolated, so that is something that we could potentially look at. And Matic really struggled to find Pogba out there, only completing 2 passes to him. If we look Matic to Pogba, I mean, yeah, it looks like there was only 2 passes between them, and that's fairly poor. But you can see on this pass map as well, the focus in those wider areas. As you can see, a diamond here on the right with Ronaldo, the right wing back, the right central midfielder, and the right side the centre back. And you can also see that on the left hand side with the left side the centre back, the left wing back, the left central midfielder, and Mason Greenwood up top. So that there is all the important data. We've already seen the league standings. Lastly, it's time to look at the squad stats to see who were the top goal scorers, the highest assist, and who were the overall best performers. So, no surprise, Ronaldo was the top goal scorer, scoring 43 goals in 50 starts. Edison Cavani scored 16 goals in 7 starts, but a lot of his goals were coming on as a substitute, so he was a very good super sub. Mason Greenwood got 12 goals in 50 starts, Bruno Fernandes got 8, Paul Pogba managed to get 4. Looking at the assists, Alex Telles got 17, Luke Shaw got 15, Bruno Fernandes got 13. Down the right hand side, I did experiment a lot. I did try to train Jadon Sancho as a right wing back, but it did take him time to get used to that role. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has 8 assists, Cristiano Ronaldo has 8 assists, so he was involved directly in a lot of goals. Diego Dalot has 6 assists, Paul Pogba has 4, and Jadon Sancho also has 4. Looking at Jadon Sancho playing as that right wing back, I mean, he didn't do too bad. He did have 12 starts, scoring 1, having 4 assists, but an overall average rating of 71.4, which is fairly decent. Looking at the best performers, Alex Telles shined as that left wing back role. Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, so we can see that the wing backs were the best performers in the system. And the goalkeeper, surprisingly, Dean Henderson, he had an average rating of 7.28. Bruno Fernandes shining at the Mazzala role as well, and Jadon Sancho didn't do too bad as that right wing back. And the road to the Champions League final, well, the first game in the group stage we got absolutely smashed by Sporting, but we did recover, beating Rangers 2-0 in the group stage. Then we beat Salzburg 4-0 away from home before beating them 5-0 at home. We then lost to Sporting again and lost to Rangers as well, so we were fairly lucky to even make it out of the group stage. But once we got to the knockout stages, you can see we beat Atalanta 2-0 at home before losing 1-0 away. We drew 0-0 at home to Juve, but we beat them 1-0 at their stadium. We drew against City at home 1-1 before drawing again away from home, but we beat them on penalties. And then lastly, we beat Liverpool 3-1 in the final. So the road to the Champions League final was not smooth at all. Also, in the Premier Division, when looking at our 4 losses, we can see that we lost away to Arsenal, at home to Liverpool, away to Tottenham, and at home to Manchester City. But unfortunately, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you are enjoying my type of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you like this video, but also leave a comment. All of that is very important. Shout out to the mastermind as well, and shout out to all of my Patreons. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe and peace out.